Good afternoon and welcome to the May 11th, 2023 hearing of the Seminole County, Florida Special Magistrate. Before we begin, I would like to advise everyone about the procedures that govern appearances before me. This meeting is open to the public under Florida's Government in the Sunshine Law. Therefore, every effort will be made to hear all persons having relevant evidence or argument to offer. The ethics law of the state of Florida requires that the county keep track of every person who appears before an official hearing officer of the county, whether in an effort to influence any decision-making or to encourage the passage, defeat, or modification of any proposal or recommendation. In order to implement state law, it is required that every person who appears before me be registered with the clerk to my left. The cases where the respondents are present and signed in will be heard first. You will be sworn in or affirmed by the clerk. Once all cases where the respondents are present and signed in, once all cases where the respondents are present have been heard, I will return to hear the remaining cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, please be seated at the table reserved for the respondents, which is right over here. In that the county has the burden of proving a violation exists, the county will present their case and then the respondents will be allowed to present their case. Additionally, please limit your comments to only information relating to the case. Each party may question witnesses offered on behalf of the other party. Additionally, staff members may question those appearing before me. I will then make my decision based upon the evidence and testimony presented. All proceedings before me are electronically recorded. Please speak directly into the microphone at the center of the table and state your name clearly before presenting your case. Should you need assistance due to a hearing impairment or a language barrier, please inform the clerk upon registration. To avoid interference with cases being presented, all cell phones and other electronic devices are to be turned off or silenced while inside the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. The first case, Madam Clerk, would you like to swear everybody in?
Love to. If you're going to be testifying, could you please stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The first case is 2344 CESM, respondent Ms. Day.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, Vicki Hathaway, Building Inspector. I presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and requested it be entered into record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Case number 2344 CESM is for the property located at 2325 Audley Street, Oviedo, which is owned by Gloria Day. The violation charged is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. The description of the violation is installation of a fence, gate, and access control unit without the required permits. The next screen we have up is the actual inspections that were done. The case summary as follows. The initial inspection was on 12/13/21, given the respondent a notice of 12/13 of 21 as well, and a compliance date of January 5th, 2023. Follow-up inspections on both visits is via computer and in person. Results of the inspections, the violation still remains on the property. Next screen shot is from the property appraiser's website showing Gloria Day as the record owner of the property. This next shot that we have here is the posted notice that was on the property of 4/28/23. The next one is of the fence and the gate that's in violation with the control box that we have there that was done on 4/26/23 as well. Next one is the fence with the gate violation of 8/16/22. Again, we have access controls for the gate violation on 11/30/22. We've also got a picture here of 12/30/22, the fence, the gate, the access controls violation of 12/30/22. This is a copy or a picture of the access control for the violation that was done on 2/28/22. Access control violation again on 2/28/22. And again, we have it on 2/28/22. And this is a copy, an aerial that's done of the property, and you can see kind of down along the long area there, there's the fencing area that we're questioning with the gates and the control box that's in there. This is a copy of the permit screen where no permits have been issued to correct the violations as of yet. We do have one in PC status that was from last year. And she has currently actually submitted paperwork as of yesterday.
What, is that the one that's 12/14/22?
That is the 22, I want to say 21, it is 22/121/72 for the access controls.
Oh, okay, because there's 3 permits, but the other 2 are unrelated. Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so what did she submit yesterday? And if you're not sure.
Yesterday was information in regards to the control box. We've got questions that were kicked back last year in regards to electrical, which they're waiting on something right now from her. The other ones was a list of things that needed to be addressed by the fire department as well.
Okay, so once that permit for 12172 does get granted?
Correct.
And approved and given to her,
This
is
will-
she in compliance?
With
this violation?
Yes, that will.
This case would be over?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The next screen is a copy of the permit application that was received on 7/15/22. And this is a copy of the Seminole County Chapter 40 Appendix A regarding the permitting process. The recommendation, based on the testimony and the evidence presented in case number 2344 CESM, it is determined that the respondent is the record holder of the property located at 2325 Audley Street, Oviedo, in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, also in possession and control of the property, in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Section A, Section 105.1. Further recommends that the special magistrate order the respondent to correct the violations on or before June 9th of 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violation. If the respondent does not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violation continues or is repeated after compliance. The respondent must contact the inspector to verify compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Do you wish to respond, Ms. Day?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do now, and that's what I need to say, that maybe I need maybe 1 more month, because I'm working on it, and I will make sure that everything that need to be done is going to be done. I think it's not going to take me a lot of time to do that.
Okay, so by 1 more month, do you think you'd be done by July 13th?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and issue staff's recommended order with the date changed from June 8th to July 13th. So you have till July 13th, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next case is 2345 CESM, respondent Mr. and Mrs. Fitz.
Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, for the record, name is Vicki Hathaway, Building Inspector. I presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and request that it be entered into record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Thank you. Case number 2345 CESM is for the property located at 2387 Kimberwick Court, Oviedo, which is owned by Vanessa and Michael Fitz. The violation charge is Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. The description of the violation is demolition interior, including electrical, plumbing, walls, and wall tile, without the required permits. This is a case summary as follows. The initial inspection was done on 7/5 of '22. Notice given to the respondent the same day. Given a compliance date of January 17th of 2023. Follow-up inspection shows that both the site visit via computer and also in person. Results of the inspection, the violation remains on the property. This is a screenshot from the property appraiser's website that shows Vanessa and Michael Fitz are the record owners of the property. These are photographs showing the posting of the notice of hearing on the property on 4/28 of '23. We've left at different times several door hangers on 7/5 of '22. There's pictures of the demolition that was done on 7/22 of '22 as well on the interior. Pictures of the demolition of the fireplace and laundry room taken on 7/22 of '22. Also, the divider wall that was removed. Pictures of the bathroom that was completely demolished on 7/22 of '22, and of the shower area on 7/22 of '22. Again, of the shower area.
Did you take these pictures?
No, ma'am.
Who took them?
The previous inspector.
Was that Kyle?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Do you know how he got in?
I do not know.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. This is a picture of the house with the dumpsters on 9/19 of '22. This is a copy of the door hanger that was left on 12/2 of '22. This is a copy of the permit screen that shows no permits applied for or issued to correct the violation. There are several permits out there that have since been issued. On the 237519 is a residential alteration permit for interior renovations, including electrical and plumbing and paver, that was received as of yesterday. Permit number 233484 was for a shed or a barn that we had also listed on the property on the original violation. There's also permit number 232565 for a fence on the other side of the property that was issued later on, and then also one for 22164849 for the aluminum fence that was there as well.
I missed the first one, 237519. What was that for?
That was for the alterations that were done on the interior that was submitted yesterday.
So if that one was issued,
It's not.
it was?
It's not issued, no, ma'am.
No, I know. When it is issued, if it is issued, would he be in compliance?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just trying to figure out if he needed any other
ma'am.
permits.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am. This is a copy of the Seminole County Chapter 40 in which they are in violation of. And the recommendation based on the testimony and evidence presented in case number 2345 CESM, it is determined that the respondents are the owner of the property located at 2387 Kimberwick Court in Seminole County, as determined by the property appraiser's records, in possession or control of the property, and in violation of Seminole County Code Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1. It is further recommended that the special magistrate order the respondents to correct the violation on or before July 14th of 2023. In order to correct the violations, the respondent shall obtain the required permits for the cited violation. If the respondents do not comply with the order, a fine of $50 will be imposed for each day the violations continue or are repeated after compliance. The respondents must also contact the inspector to verify the compliance. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you.
do you wish to respond?
Yes, ma'am. Just simply to express from me and my wife a little bit of embarrassment and to be apologetic. We were grossly misled to this process. At this point, we have been gathering information to become compliant. We've submitted that yesterday, and we stand ready to be fully compliant going forward. We're interested in getting this behind us, so we apologize for taking everybody's time today.
Okay, and do you think you have enough time with this July? I think it's supposed to be July 13th instead of 14th, only because that's the hearing date.
That would be correct.
Okay, so are you?
No, the day before, I'm sorry, I apologize. It's usually the day before. The day after?
The day after the hearing?
The day after the hearing, we usually do.
I thought it was the day before. That way you can discuss it at the hearing.
We can
Is that
change
wrong?
it. I'm just going to say that if they're not in compliance by then, it gives them time to say, we're not going to be there. We need to come in and ask for additional time.
Right, if we did the 13th, right?
That would, okay, yes, ma'am.
I'm just trying to figure it out. Is that correct? The 13th? Because then they come to the hearing?
After.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Do you,
Yes, ma'am.
is mid-July enough time, or do you think you need longer?
Yes, ma'am. My impression, subject to what the county tells us, we believe we're compliant with all the required permit applications as of yesterday, and
Okay.
we're standing ready to comply with any further information or what else we need to do.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and issue staff's recommended order. If you have problems between now and then, and you get sent to another hearing, I would just say, come back, because you can ask for more time. Whereas if you ignore the hearing, you may end up getting fines imposed, even though you're working towards coming into compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next case is 2265 CESM, respondent Denzek. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, for the record, the name is Vicki Hathaway, Building Inspector. I presented a copy of this presentation to the clerk and requested it be entered into record.
It's accepted, thank you.
Thank you. Case number, let me get here. Oh my, sorry, excuse me real quick here. This is for what street? This is Meredith. I got it. Excuse me. Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Section, this case has been closed. It's for lien-only hearing. The Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1 for construction without the required permits, which was for a fence. The case was originally heard by the special magistrate on July 14th of 2022 and ordered in issuing the respondent a compliance date of September 12th of 2022. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by the inspector after reinspection on September 13th of 2022. An affidavit of compliance was filed by the inspector after the permit was obtained on January the 3rd of 2023. The recommendation based on the findings and fact issued on July 14th of 2022, the special magistrate issued an order reducing the fine to the administrative cost totaling, I don't have the total.
I think I do.
Thank you.
It's in the agenda, and it says $691.81.
That is correct.
And then if that was not paid within 30 days, the fine would revert to the original amount, which is $5,600.
Correct.
Okay.
So the recommendation based on the findings to have it $695, the required cost to be paid within 30 days or the fine will revert to the original amount of $5,600 and will constitute a lien on the property.
So your request is for $691.81?
$691.81,
Okay,
correct.
perfect. I don't know why I thought I heard you say $695. I got it. $691.81. Sir, do you wish to respond?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I have no idea what's really happening here, why this has come to this point. It took a long time to get to the fence, get it permitted. At one point, I had to issue or request a variance request because it had extended too close to the water, and my neighbor had contested it. So I came to a meeting here. The neighbor told me that the fence was actually on his property. So they issued an extension for me to come back. In the meantime, I contacted a surveyor and I proved that the fence was indeed on my property. I still lost the case. I won't go into why, but I lost the case, and I was told that I had to make sure I was in ordinance that the fence, the solid vinyl fence, did not approach within 25 feet of the water line. So I did that, and I replaced the last section, 2 sections of fence with chain link. The inspector came back and inspected, everything was resolved. I didn't know anybody wanted any money. I didn't know anything was wrong at this point. I certainly never received any emails, no phone calls, no nothing. So I want to comply, but I don't know what I'm complying to.
So what the county is saying now is that you are in compliance, so you've done everything. And at some point, there was, let me see what the date was. You came to the special magistrate, me, on July 14th of 2022, and then I issued an order giving you until September 12th, 2022, and it looks like staff went out there on September 13th.
I don't think it was me. It may have been my general contractor. I've never seen you before in my life. I've
Okay.
only come to the hearing with the commissioners
Okay.
with the variance request.
So the non-compliance affidavit was filed on September 13th, and then it looks like this January, on the 3rd, staff went back out there and found that everything was good and you're in compliance. So what happened was, in between September and January, there were fines accruing on the property daily because of the previously issued order in July. So it would have been $50 a day, and it accrued to $5,600. So what the county is saying is, you don't have to pay that $5,600 because you're in compliance, and they're willing to reduce the lien to cover just their costs that they spent in enforcement, which was $691.81. So that's why they're charging you get the number right, $691.81, but you're in compliance. Does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense that I would owe any money at all, in my opinion. I don't understand what I did incorrectly or in an untimely manner.
Do you wish to respond?
I just see here that the permit was not issued until actually the application came in on 1/14 of '22. The permit was issued on 1/3 of '23.
Yeah, it sounds like you needed a variance, right? So
Yeah,
that's
it
what
went through
that's
2
what happened.
meetings.
So now he's just asking if you want to waive the fine or not. But the county is, are you saying no?
We have administrative costs.
Okay, so that's it. It's $691.81 from the county. They're not willing to reduce it further because that's their costs. That's why you're here, though. I didn't want you to be confused. You are in compliance.
I don't understand why no one called me, why no one sent me an email, no one sent me anything, nothing. When I first got the notice, I called and asked for someone to call me back a week and a half ago. No phone calls at all.
Was that the notice for this hearing?
Yet for this meeting today.
I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if you wish to respond or not.
I have not had any phone calls. I log all my calls into the system when they come in, and if he would have been compliant, I would have said, you're in compliance for this, here's the options that you have. He's in compliance.
Yep, that's what we're saying. You are in compliance. Do you need any kind of payment plan to pay in installments?
I simply can't afford it right now, that's correct. I mean, this was an unexpected penalty for some reason. I don't understand why. I don't understand what I did wrong, I really don't. If some sort of notice or something would have been sent in the mail, I could have tried to take corrective situations. I could have tried to take corrective action. Nothing was
So you're saying you
done.
didn't receive a notice?
I received nothing with regards to this.
All
I
right,
thought
I'll
once-
take a look at the file and see if there's notices, because,
Notice was sent on March 27th, the letter.
can I just see that notice of the violation of the hearing? We'll review your notices.
Thank you.
Do you live at the property?
Yes, I do.
There's the
I have a lot of permits.
compliance.
Let's see. These are the affidavits.
We have copies of the receipts that were returned.
Yeah, that would help. He's saying he didn't get notice, so I'm just looking for the county's evidence of notice so that we can respond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so,
We currently post our properties if we get no green cards back.
If we don't have a green card within 30 days, we post them.
I'm just confused, but what is this date? November 21st, 2009? Is it,
That's got to be incorrect.
yeah,
That has to be incorrect.
I don't think there are 209 days in November.
Correct.
I mean, that would be the post office, not
Yes,
y'all.
ma'am.
But, let's see. Oh, well, it looks like it was returned to sender. I see. So do you have an affidavit of posting?
Do we have a copy of the posting?
We don't post it. Where do you have
The post the properties if the green cards are returned.
Yes, it should be in the...
So what I'm looking at is just that the mail the county sent was returned to sender. So he didn't get the notice.
Is that a current, I'm sorry,
I'm just
the
looking-
first one or
They have the
which one?
postings up here where they posted the property.
Okay, where's those?
In the PowerPoint.
Go through the PowerPoint, please.
I probably have it in this. I do not have notices in my,
It's a lien hearing, so that's why the slide's not on there, because we've already been through the case. The case file.
well, if he didn't get notice of any of the
It
hearings,
wouldn't come from us, it would come from,
then he wouldn't have a chance to object prior to now. So that's why I'm just saying, do we have the notice? I don't have to reach a decision here. If you have the notice,
We would have to check with the
yeah,
clerk.
if you want to check and get the notice, I can easily postpone the hearing, not issue any fines while it's pending, and he can just come back.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, okay? So the staff does not have the file on them that would show the notices. I don't see the notices, but they may have them in their file. So we're not going to charge you anything today, but they're probably going to renotice you then for another hearing. once they determine if they have the notices or not. I'll tell you this much, if they don't have the notices, I would dismiss the case. If they do have the notices, I would issue the fine of $691.81 and let you have a payment plan for how long you need to pay it.
I wish I knew what I did wrong so that I wouldn't do it again.
And you can meet with the staff after this, because I don't have a role in that aspect, but
But you don't even know what I did wrong, and you're making a verdict?
I have what you did wrong. You have a fence installed without a permit. That's what you did wrong, but what happened is you came into compliance, and I'm just trying to determine if, before that fine was imposed, if you had notice, because you're saying you did not. If you didn't have notice, it would be dismissed, because you need to have notice.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so nothing is dismissed. You're just going to check into that, and we'll come back?
Thank you, yes.
Okay, thank you.
correct.
6/8, yes, we will continue to June 8th, okay, sir?
Yes,
Okay. June 8th at 1:30 PM.
I have to return again.
Thank you. Okay. The next hearing is 2229 CESM, Respondent SHRI RAM 7400 LLC.
Okay, Vicki Hathaway for the record. This is in regards to CESM 2229, SHRI RAM 7400 LLC. Namisha Patel, Registered Agent, 7400 South US Highway 1792, Fern Park, 32730. Violation, the case was closed, liens for cost only. Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. The case was originally heard by the special magistrate on March 10th of 2022. An order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of May 13th of 2022. On July 14th of 2022, the special magistrate issued an order extending the compliance date to September 12th of 2022. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by the inspector after the reinspection on September 13th of 2022. An affidavit of compliance was filed by the inspector after the permit was obtained on February the 13th of 2023. Recommendation that the special magistrate issue an order reducing the fines to the administrative cost only of $742.24, and order these costs to be paid within the next 30 days, or the fine will revert to the original amount of $7,650 and will constitute a lien on the property. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Do you
Thank
wish
you.
to respond?
Yes, we want to comply with everything, whatever we need to be done, but our contractor got backed out, and we recently getting it on the 15th of this month. We are trying to fix everything up sooner, maybe, but we probably will need about 60 days. Within that period of time, we will wrap it up everything. We were just waiting in the line for the contractor to come out and finish the project that we have it.
But I think what the county is saying is that you're in
He's
compliance.
compliant, correct.
So
That
you-
is correct. These are just for administrative costs from the time that he was.
So you're done with the county's issue. You might still be working on things with other permits, but this case is good.
So our permit everything is done?
The only thing they're saying you have to do is pay a fine of $742.24, but everything is done.
So can you, what do you want to pay?
I just have one question.
તે લોકોએ પૈસા તો આપવાના પૈસા જ આપી દેવાનો આપણે કંઈ કામ કરાવવાનું નહીં એમ જ રહેવા દેવાનું તો પૈસા હમણાં આપી દઈએ હવે Can we pay in a quarterly payments or something? Or we can,
But I can give them an amount of time to pay.
kind of, or we can pay within a month, it's up to
Okay, 30 days.
30 days?
Good?
Yeah. that's-
Thank you.
Okay, thank
So the order will say 30 days to pay $742.24?
So everything is compliant, we don't have to do anything, just have to pay the fine?
That is correct, sir. You are compliant. We're just getting rid of the fines, and we're only asking for administrative cost.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay, thank you. The next case is 2334 CESM, Respondent Kevin King. Hi there.
Thank you. For the record, name is Vicki Hathaway, Building Inspector for Seminole County. This is in regards to 2334 CESM for Kevin P. King at 3200 West Osceola Road, Geneva, Florida, 32732. This is the actual installation of a mobile home. It's a special request, asking for additional time. Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. The case was originally heard by the special magistrate on March 9th of 2023. An order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of May 8th of 2023. The respondent is requesting additional time to comply with any accrued fines to be waived. This concludes my presentation.
Okay, and are you in agreement with the requested time to comply?
That is correct. We spoke yesterday, and she was going to request a certain amount of time, and I said go for 90 days just to make sure she's going to move the mobile home off the current property and put it on one that she has, but she's trying to coordinate with movers and
Okay.
permitting.
So if the respondent's request is 90 days, you're saying you agree with that?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. And are you, since you are not Kevin King,
I'm his wife.
okay, and you're authorized to speak, okay, are you asking for 90 days?
Not to get a special exception.
Yes.
that she needs.
Do we know how much time?
It'll take, she's got to do a community meeting for a special exception. It has to go to P&Z and BCC.
Sounds like you might need more than
So
90.
it's going to be a minimum of at least 6 months, but she is in the process of applying.
Okay, so I suggested 90. She was going to go for 60, and I'm like, let's just do 90. You're going to move it anyhow, but if this is how much time it's going to take, she could always come back in and request the additional time.
Okay, let me hear from you then.
Okay, I mean, if she's saying 6 months, what are we proposing?
Do you have to get a special exception?
So on my other property, there's an old manufactured home there. I want to replace it. She said, yes, I have to have the special exception. Well, I got her message yesterday.
Okay, so you're going to go through that process?
Yes, I actually have the paperwork, but I forgot to bring it, so I'll just bring it in the morning and apply for it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And then move from there. Do we do 90 days and then come back and ask for more time, or do we?
There is absolutely no way that you're going to get a special exception and a permit within 90 days, but I think since staff is here, for the record, I would like to have you, are you sworn in?
Yes.
Do you mind
not
just
at all.
addressing the timing? That way, if we do 6 months, everybody knows record-wise why.
Sure. Angie sorry, I just got married. Angie Gates.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been saying that last name for 26 years, though. So, is this the same property that you're replacing the mobile home on, just to make sure that I'm clear?
No, so on this.
This is a different one?
This is a different one. The one we proposed is 3791 Skyway.
Okay. Did you receive a special exception for this property as well?
No, that's why I'm here.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Is it zoned A5? If it's zoned A1, like the other property is, then she will be required to get a special exception. Megan's going to look that up and see if a special exception
No,
is
I'm
required.
taking the mobile home off of this one and moving it to the other one.
You're going to move it to the other one?
Yes, I'm not
Okay.
keeping it here.
She's not going to be able to place that mobile home until you have the special exception, so that would cause a delay. And now with our special exceptions, they have to have a community meeting and go to P&Z and
Understood. That's why I
BCC.
said
Yeah.
there's no way to do that.
So I knew that we were intertwined somehow, I wasn't sure how.
Okay, so
But
we
yeah,
need
it's
to
gonna take
confirm the
longer than
zoning,
the-
though, is A1, right?
Working on that right now.
Okay, so let's just give it a
But
minute.
the other one is zoned A1, so she has to get that special exception. I don't know that.
This one's
she will-
A1.
If she'll be able
It
to.
is?
If she will be able to move this there, just place it there until it's approved, what if it's denied? So.
Can you move the,
We can have
If
it.
that's something you discuss
I-
with the building department,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can.
This is where it's currently located.
It's just set on the blocks. It's not, nobody's living in it. Nobody, like, it's just sitting there. Like that, this is the condition that it's still in back from August. We had applied for the permits and then it's a big, long thing. That's a flood zone, so I need to take it out of there. and
Is this
move
a
it to-
safety issue?
According
No,
to the-
it's not.
No. According to the building official, if it's on wheels, it can go to the other property. I don't know the zoning of the other property. I just know I was working with her to get it off of this one to where,
Right. The other parcel's A1.
But is it on wheels?
It's not sitting on the,
not right now.
they removed the wheels.
It may not be a building violation, but is it a zoning violation if it's not placed in the right spot, even if it is not tied down? I mean, she still has to go through the process.
Right.
So it's going to take it at minimum 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think my thing is, I think it saves the county money to not bring it back for a hearing and then have to ask for time again, because it's one less hearing that you have. You don't have to
Correct.
send out notices, you don't have to pay for all of our time. So to me, if we know there's no way of getting it done in 90 days, I think it's not only more efficient for the property owner, but for the county to just give it 6 months. So I'm going to calculate what 6 months is. Today is May. I think it's November 9th.
It's going to be November, yes.
November 9th. So with that being said, we'll give you till November 9th, 2023.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you so much.
thank you.
You have a good day.
You too. Okay, I believe the last case is 2268 CESM, Respondent BAF Assets 3 LLC.
For the record, name is Vicki Hathaway. The case number we have here is 2268 CESM. It's BAF Assets and 3 LLC, Corporation Services Company, registered agent for 1213 Gay Street, Apopka, Florida, 32703. The notice of the hearing was posted. The installation, the violation was installation of 2 side doors, 1 sliding glass door, 12 windows, an AC unit, and 1 section of 6-foot vinyl fence that was unpermitted. Seminole County, they're in violation of Seminole County Code, Chapter 40, Appendix A, Section 105.1, construction without the required permits. The case was originally heard by the special magistrate on July 14th of 2022. An order was issued giving the respondent a compliance date of September 12th of 2022. An affidavit of noncompliance was filed by the inspector after reinspection on September 13th of 2022. Recommendation based on the findings and fact on July 14th of 2022, the special magistrate issued an order imposing a lien in the amount of $12,050 for 241 days of noncompliance from September the 13th of 2022 through and including May 11th of 2023. And the fine shall continue to accrue at $50 per day for each day the violation continues or is repeated after May 11th. This concludes my presentation.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do not have minutes to approve, so we'll confirm the next hearing date is June 8th, 2023. Okay, thank you.
Can we go to the case?